Carbohydrates are often marketed as comfort food, and it's true. Eating a bowl of pasta or a slice of cake can make you feel temporarily relaxed. But when it comes to sleep, that comfort can come at a high cost. Particularly in the evening, consuming high amounts of starches and refined carbohydrates can initiate a blood sugar roller coaster that doesn't just affect your waistline. It may sabotage your ability to fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling rested. What we eat before bed plays a direct and underestimated role in the hormonal orchestration of the sleep-wake cycle, and late-night carb-heavy meals are increasingly being recognized as a stealthy disruptor of natural rest. The biological chain reaction starts when you eat foods rich in simple or refined carbs, such as white rice, potatoes, pasta, white bread, or sugary snacks, shortly before bed. These carbohydrates are digested rapidly, spiking blood glucose levels. In response, your pancreas releases a surge of insulin to shuttle the excess sugar out of the bloodstream. While insulin does its job efficiently, the problem is what happens next. Blood sugar levels can plummet sharply, especially during the early hours of sleep. This hypoglycemic crash can signal a stress response in the body, triggering the release of adrenaline and cortisol, two hormones that actively promote wakefulness. This hormonal backlash is particularly problematic during the early stages of deep sleep, when your brain and body are trying to recover and repair. If your blood sugar drops too low, it may cause micro-awakenings, increased heart rate, restlessness, or full awakenings in the middle of the night. You may not remember waking up, but you'll feel it the next morning, in the form of grogginess, irritability, and mental fog. Over time, this pattern can significantly reduce your time spent in restorative slow-wave and REM sleep, which are critical for memory consolidation, emotional regulation, and physical repair. Another key factor is melatonin, the sleep hormone that is naturally produced in the evening when light levels drop and the body prepares for rest. High-carb, high-sugar meals can disrupt melatonin secretion in subtle but powerful ways. Studies have shown that elevated insulin levels suppress melatonin production, meaning that eating starchy or sugary foods too close to bedtime can blunt the natural signal that tells your body it's time to sleep. In essence, your internal clock gets confused, stimulated by a food-induced hormone storm when it should be winding down. Even people who don't have diabetes or blood sugar issues may be vulnerable to these effects. In fact, healthy individuals who consume high glycemic meals at night often experience lighter, more fragmented sleep compared to those who eat balanced meals with protein, healthy fats, and low glycemic carbs. The link is clear. What you eat at night directly shapes the quality of your sleep, often in ways you don't consciously recognize until the poor sleep pattern becomes chronic. For those who already struggle with sleep, whether from insomnia, anxiety, or stress, loading up on carbohydrates in the evening only makes the problem worse. The body ends up in a vicious cycle of glucose spikes and hormonal disruptions, leading to poor sleep, followed by daytime fatigue, which leads to more cravings for energy-dense, high-carb foods to compensate. This feedback loop is not just physically draining, it also contributes to long-term metabolic dysfunction, including weight gain, elevated cortisol levels, and an increased risk for type 2 diabetes. And let's not ignore the hidden starches that sneak into evening routines. The popcorn during a late-night movie, the instant noodles before bed, the sweetened yogurt or low-fat dessert. All of these can act like slow poison for your sleep quality. Even snacks that seem harmless, like granola bars or crackers, often contain processed grains and added sugars that destabilize blood sugar long after you've gone to bed. It's a dangerous myth that eating something carby will help you sleep better. It may help you fall asleep faster, but you're unlikely to stay asleep deeply and consistently. The irony is that people often turn to carbohydrates in the evening as a way to soothe stress or unwind, but end up compromising the very rest they're seeking. True relaxation and sleep support comes not from a sugar hit, but from stable blood sugar, calm brain chemistry, and a hormonal environment that's aligned with circadian rhythms. That can only happen when evening meals are carefully structured, low in refined starches and sugars, and higher in fiber, protein, and healthy fats that support stable energy and melatonin release. In the modern world, where artificial lighting, stress, and screen time already interfere with sleep, the last thing the body needs is another disruptor. Yet the typical dinner plate, full of white rice, pasta, bread, and sweetened sauces, does exactly that, throwing internal systems into disarray at the very time they should be powering down. So, if you're struggling to get restful, consistent sleep, take a hard look at what you're eating after sunset. Carbs may seem like comfort food, but when eaten at the wrong time and in the wrong form, they could be the very reason you wake up tired, wired, and unrest. Your brain, your hormones, and your sleep cycle are all asking for one thing at night: balance. High-starch meals offer the opposite.